Hi everybody, how's it going? We're just hanging out. The co-op stream is probably going to start in, I would say, maybe an hour and a half. We'll be playing with Gerard some more Divinity, working our way towards the end of the game, and getting closer to the end of the week, which is Battlefield 1. And I don't know if we're going to be able to stream that or not. But if we are, then we'll be streaming a lot of that. And I don't know how much Divinity will get played, so we got to crank some of that out this week. But for now, we're just hanging out. We're hanging out and we're doing some game development. So I play around with Unity a bit. Oh, I should probably put that in the title. That would make sense. There we go. And I like RTSs, so naturally I'm playing around with RTS stuff in Unity. Nothing too serious. I just gotta add little parts here and there. And I make it closer to what you see in other RTSs, starting with the basics, like being able to have units attack each other and then advance their AI, stuff like that. And slowly it starts to shape into something that kind of looks like an RTS. And so for now, I just kind of replicate elements that are in other RTSs, like Command & Conquer, Warcraft, stuff like that. So right now I've just got some dudes hanging around. I don't know how chatty I'll be while I'm working on this, though. You might just see me nerd out for a little while. I forget why I called this RTS Dark Forest. Shit. That's right, I need to do that. Sometimes I leave myself compile errors so I'll remember where I last stopped. Okay, so currently they'll actually engage each other within range. And so these units will shoot at those units. You can see the little laser beams happening. Yeah, and this is me. So now it's kind of a cross between RPG and RTS as far as control schemes go. But right now, the enemies just chase me around instead of shooting at what's actually shooting them. So I'm trying to think as far as how we get that to happen. I mean, there's a couple different ways you can do it. You can do it sort of like the super extreme way, which is you keep a list of all the people who have attacked you and then weight aggressiveness towards attackers and your original target, the first one they saw, which was me, and then go from there. But what I think what we're going to do is instead is you could also send events like if someone gets attacked, then send an event to the AI, because right now I have it separated into two different scripts. I have on each unit, I have a unit script which controls all the basic stuff like your team, where the attack range and the damage and the health and movement. And then I have an input script, which is either player controlled or AI controlled. And so I kind of balance the two between their functionality, so that way I can pull an AI controller off of a unit and stick a player controller on a unit if I wanted to. And I'm sure I'll adjust the boundaries and split it out into more scripts as I go along, but for now I'm just kind of playing. One of the things, what is Johan doing, by the way? He might actually find this interesting. So I think probably the way I'm going to do it is if units they have a target, an AI unit has a target, and it's shooting at it. And so long as it keeps shooting at it easily, it'll just keep shooting at it until it's dead. However, if it moves out of its attack range, then it can't easily shoot at it, and so therefore it should find a new target. And the new target orders should be, I'm thinking either the closest or the last one that shot them. And I try not to get too advanced as far as like when you go to game development, huh? God, I'm yawning so much today. I'm a little sleepy because I stayed up a little too late the night before and then had to wake up a little too early for a vet appointment. But yeah, the problem in game development is you look at a problem you want to solve, and you say, okay, I can solve this problem this way. However, it introduces these 3 other problems I need to solve, and I can solve them this way, or I can solve them more efficiently this way. And you start to go down this rabbit hole, and that prevents you from getting the simplistic basics in. So if you look at it and you say, oh, well, obviously, when an enemy moves out of range of my character, I need to like prioritize based on who's been shooting at me, who I can hit most optimally, etc., and you start to like get the problem more and more complex when you could just shoot the thing that's closest to you. So I think that's what we're probably going to do. So I'll add that logic in where I put the last note. And I think I actually left a note in the wrong place because I thought about this as I was going to bed after I'd stopped writing. So we're actually going to take that out. This is C#. For anyone who hasn't played with it before, it's kind of it's got some similarities between modern programming languages like Python and shares a lot of syntactical stuff with like C++. So let's go to the AI script. And here's where I have the aggressive behavior script, which is the only behavior we have right now. And here, so if the target's null, which is not the case because it has a target. So oof, I was so sloppy whenever I wrote this. Or maybe I had extra cases to take a look at. Oh, Jesus. Sometimes MonoDevelop is not gracious with updating things fast enough. So if the target is null, meaning there's no target, then it's going to look for targets. Otherwise, we have a target. So if we have a target, we want to check to see if they're in range. Okay, so that's what it does here. And if they are in range, do some stuff. If they're not, then move to position. But however, we want to see, like, if they're not in range, then let's look at the next closest enemy and make them a target. And we have some scripts up here, or some code up here that does that. So look for nearby targets. I think what we want to do is we want to pull some of this code out, stick it in another function, then reuse it. So let's just do void. Actually, no, it's going to be a, is that game object? Is this a, enemies is a unit object. Okay, yeah. So game object is the return type. And then find closest enemy. Yeah, if you came here for not programming stuff, I'm so sorry. We're getting deep. Sometimes I do modeling and animation and stuff like that. But for now, we're doing a little old-fashioned programming. So I don't think we need any parameters in there. And for the programmers, I'm sorry, but the brace goes on the same line. At least that's what I've gotten used to when I do personal projects. It really depends on what you're working on. If you're working at a company, follow whatever's already there. Make things easier on other people. Okay, so we're gonna target enemy 0. Okay, and instead of that, so we're gonna have in here, have a return object, game object, return object, null. And then if we find one, enemies found, find the closest. I prefix all my class variables with an underscore. I forget where I get that convention from. I just kind of follow that. in my little personal projects here because it helps me remember. Most of it's just personal style, I suppose. Okay, so return the object. So in here, this is going to be the return object instead of the target. Okay. Return object. Okay. So now we can do target equals find closest enemy. Boom. Much more clean. Okay. Then in here, diver. Yeah. Hey Nullrick, how's it going? I'm not being too exciting right now. Just hanging out with a bunch of characters on the screen, moving them around. Alright, so now that we found the closest enemy, so what we can do is we can have a temporary object. Fine, let's see here. So if it's outside, we want to see if the target's in range, which is the one we're chasing at, and if it's not, then let's see. Here we'll do target equals find closest enemy. And then but if it's already chased, so if everything's out of sight, target transform, so it's still going to find the closest one. Let's just, I think this should work. I use hyphens and underscores plenty with Armor 3 coding for some mod work I've done before. Doing good. Some variable sorting. Yeah, I'm cleaning up the code a little bit, which isn't the best thing to be entertaining people with on stream, but we'll see how it goes. Alright, let's see if this changes their behavior any. Because previously they were chasing just me, but now if I walk past these guys, we're hoping that they'll stop shooting at me. Perfect! Alright, that's much more believable. Oh my gosh. Fuck it, we're done for today. Alright, so now they're behaving a little bit better. Now this is the hardest part I find about game development, is just like figuring out what's the next step, right? So if we look at examples of other RTSs and you think about how units engage and stuff like that, like what behavior do you want to have next? Sometimes I just like, once I get something working, I'll stop and duplicate some dudes. And see how things work. On a larger scale, make sure things aren't going to break. Navigation layer still looks good. Okay, so I'm going to pull these guys over here. Okay, and then not die. And then definitely die. Alright. Okay, so things look good. Actually, I want to crank my health up a little bit so that way I can debug this sort of stuff easier. Just give myself 100 health. Alright, and then there we go. I kind of want to be able to shoot things myself, so I might actually do that. So did I have the shooting logic? Okay, and because I'm out of range, I forget why they drift like that, but that's not an issue I want to solve right now. Where do I put... Okay, so I do have the attack in the unit, which is good, because then I can reuse that in the player input. So right now, I just move around, and I think... Okay. So I have things on the terrain layer. So I'm raycasting on the terrain layer, seeing where my raycast hits the terrain and then telling the unit to move to that point. So we want to be able to attack units, so we also need to be able to raycast onto a unit. So let's check that out actually. So, whoa, no, don't print. We don't need to print here. All right. Okay, so these guys, let's add a layer. Do I want to call it unit? This is also a thing I find hard, just naming conventions, is that they're units, but they're also going to be buildings or interactables. Do we just want to call everything units? Our buildings units? Fuck it, they are. Okay. So now we can raycast, and it's ORing, right? So it's 1 left shifted by terrain or unit. And I think that'll get us where we're going. Otherwise, I won't be able to move anymore. Okay, I'm not able to move anymore. So we fucked something up. Can we print that out? Let's do that. Debug. .log. And then we'll do this one. These are bit masks. Okay, so if I click, it's 8 and 9, right? So that's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. God, I'm bad at this. 7, 8, right? And then 9 would be this. Wait, does that make sense then? Am I anding them? No, I'd be ORing them. Oh shit. Wait. Oh my god. Let's pull up some docs. I tried to do the bit operations in my head. It's not working today. Is there does calculator do that? Standard. We want programming. So 8. Okay, yeah, that's 8. Okay, well, what's 9? Okay, that's what I thought. 8 and 9. So 8 or 9. But then wouldn't that just be 9? Oh my god. I get it. I understand now. I was doing it all wrong. Unit mass might be a bit off where drifting is concerned. Might want to check center mass if you have that running. So what I think what's happening with the unit drift is that the what do you call it? Nav mesh agent, what controls the navigation, is actually taking the rigid body, and it just doesn't have drag anymore. It moves like ice, and the nav mesh agent is moving it around. And I think what happens is once it's done finding its target, once it's just done navigating, it just turns that off, and so the nav mesh agent isn't holding it in place anymore, and instead it's just an object that can just float around in space. So if anything bumps, like for example these guys here, if I actually, can I, no, it's not, no, what's that key? Whatever. So if I do this, no, okay, that's not what I wanted. I just wanted to move this object. Can I drop them? No. Okay. I don't know. I have a theory. There's a theory that happens. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. That's because I wasn't in play mode. Makes some sense now. Okay, so now... Because I think once they kill all each other, whatever's left... Yeah. Now they're still trying to move to a place. But these guys... Now they're locked down on that access for sure. Yeah, I don't know. Nor do I want to solve that problem right now. I'm getting distracted here. Okay, so it's not the actual binary numbers 8 and 9. It's the amount that binary 1 is shifted to the left. How many places. So what we need to do is we need to do I think 8. No. Clear. 1 left shift by 8. What? No. Whatever's happening, clear it all. Okay. 1 left shift by 8. Shit. Because I also need to do parentheses. So 1 left shift by 8. Or with 1 left shift by 9, right? That's what we want? Yes, that is what we want. Okay. So I just need to redo this. I did the order of operations wrong, is all. Just need to pull that, pop it there, and then just look at the ridiculous number of... Okay, yeah, I think that should work. So now I should be able to navigate whether I click the ground or a unit. Okay. Makes sense. Yep. Now I can click these guys. Okay. So if that's the case, then now if I left click a unit, I want to say something different just to make sure that it actually recognizes. So if if hit dot layer transform dot lay dot game dot layer is unit, debug.log hello there, the angel from my nightmare. Then okay, so now it should have different reactions based. What are you talking about? I can't. Oh shit, okay. Layer, what is it called? Is it layer? No. Mask to layer, layer to mask. Game object? No. Oh, I see. I literally used it above. Layer mask. Name to layer. Because layers are actually integers, and the names we give them are only aliases. Alii? How does one give the plural alias? So if it's a unit... Uh-oh. Well, that's not good. That's not acting as I want it to be. If hit transforms. Okay, well then let's just output that shit. debug.log. Close that now. Alright, so let's print that out. Okay, 8, 8, 8, 8. It's still hitting 8. Why is that not? Did I not save these? Did I not actually put these in unit? Oh my god, I hate when I do this. Alright, problem found. Okay. Yeah, change the children. Save it, play it. Now it should work. Okay. Yep. So this is terrain, and that's a unit. Okay, cool. Alright. Let's go back to this. So if it's a unit, we're gonna, and the unit is an enemy. So we need to determine if they're an enemy or an ally. And I think right now, as far as that logic goes, they're either the same team or they're not. So okay, if how are we gonna do this? Hit dot game dot transform dot game object dot get component. Right now I don't really do much error checking, and I want it to just spectacularly crash if it doesn't have the right components. Just in general, so that way I can make sure that I have them all there, instead of seeing a bunch of debug messages. So hit.transform.gameObject.getComponents unit. Okay, unit enemy. Or no, target unit equals, and then if unit, which is this unit, dot team is not equal, target unit dot team, then want to attack. So unit dot attack, and then we're just going to do target unit dot. Well, I should have done this in a different order, but okay, that works. Let's run that, see what it looks like. Oh, I can shoot from that far away. Fantastic. Oh, can I shoot as fast as I want? I'll have to see about that. So now I'm shooting. Object reference not set to whatever. Okay, where at? Oh, move to position. Oh, because after I attacked it. It's an AI input. Ooh, because I killed it. Killed it on the same frame. Whatever. I don't care about that error for now. What I mostly care about is not moving. Stick an else to wrap this. And then in here, I'm stick another else. and target unit dot transform dot position. I think that's what I want to do at least, because let's see, how else would you calculate that? If I clicked on the top of a unit, it would go straight to the ground. No, I think if you click on a unit, it should go to the center of it. Okay. Okay, now I'm not moving and I can still attack. Yeah, it's not AAA quality, but it's getting the job done. Okay, and if I click my ally, it just moves to my ally. Cool. That's a little bit of progress. I mean, I try not to. I do a little bit here and there, you know. Maybe work on it for an hour a day or so. Or an hour a week. Who knows? But it's looking better than it was. As far as units aren't perpetually chasing me now, and now I can actually shoot at them. Also, it would help if I could, like, stop. So, unit.stop. So now if I attack, it should stop me. Okay. It's stopping me, but I'm still getting a little bit of that weird floating behavior. I wonder if I can stop that by going into the unit. I'll have to figure that one out, I think. Unless the units pathfind around other units, I believe, don't they? Right, so if I click here, no, they're dumb as bricks, kind of. No, they're not that bad, actually. Still really shoves through them, though. Is there like a, if I go to here, to the player, nav message it. Auto braking's on. Yeah, I'll have to take a look into that, because I think it has something to do with the rigid body. I think something with it being kinematic or not. Okay, I'll have to check in with that later. For now, I think I'm going to take a break and go offline until I meet up with Gerard. And then we'll do our little co-op stream. So, thanks for joining me for my little short game dev session there. And tune in probably in, I'd say, 30 minutes, maybe. I don't think an hour. I think 30 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes, maybe. And we'll be doing more Divinity. What were we doing in that? I don't know. We'll find out then. All right. See y'all then.